Thank you so much, Dr. Unni and Dr. Jay, for the invite. It's truly an honor to present here. So we've gone through the imaging in MACTEL extensively already, so I don't need to tell you what all this is about. And we've also seen the OCTA features of MACTEL, where it's been possible to characterize capillaries of MACTEL in individual layers. So I'm going to present a novel finding in macular telangiectasia type 2. So I'll dive into my cases straight away. So this was the first case that we saw, a 48-year-old woman who has diabetes as well and changes of moderate NPDR in the background, and this is the pigment that she has along with other features of MACTEL. What was interesting was that the pigment was almost extremely superficial and there was this strange membrane on top of it. This is what she had in the FA along with DR changes. There was this temporal staining. And this wide field was just done to show that there was no evidence of PDR elsewhere. So when we did an OCTA, we saw a flow signal in the vitreoretinal surface membrane. And this was what it corresponded to, a well-defined vascular net, which Dr. Avinash also showed in one of his slides. So this ICG was done to rule out a CNVM. There was none. This is the left eye of the same patient with a very, very small membrane. And again, the wide angle FA, no PDR, no CNVM. So when we did an OCTA, we saw that there was this well-defined membrane very superficially. So we call this epiretinal neovascular membrane, or ERNM, and saw more such cases. This is case 2, where one eye is affected by the pigment, other eye had an earlier stage of MACTEL. So there was this membrane again abutting pigment. And the ICG showed no CNVM, there was a typical MACTEL FFA. And this was the OCTA of the deeper layers, and you can see a very well-defined membrane or a vascular network corresponding to the vitreoretinal interface. What was interesting was that this membrane cast a projection artifact in the superficial capillary plexus. So this is case 3, and we were about to dismiss it saying it's probably too flimsy, but we were lucky to get this kind of tag which was extending into the vitreous. So that tag corresponded to a flow signal as well as a very bright hyperreflective signal on the OCTA. So if you can see, there is this early filling of the ERN in the early phases of the FFA. This was the last case in the series that we published, and this had a very, very flimsy membrane in one eye and this fragmented sort of membrane in the other. So this was the wispy membrane that we could see on the OCTA of one eye, and this was the fragmented ERNM that was looking like two separate complexes. So these ERNMs also seem to have a communication with a hyperreflective flow signal, suggesting that probably the MACTEL capillaries of the superficial plexus were getting bared and onto the retinal surface. Or is this membrane a distinct endpoint of MACTEL-associated neovascularization? So what were the salient features with this ERN? All cases had pigment. We know CNVM also occurs after pigment. So we wonder if the superficially migrated pigment incites ERN formation. Remarkably, there were no empty spaces or ILM drape or a lamellar hole in any of our cases. So we published our findings in Ophthalmology Retina, and after that, we had a few more cases. This was a very thick, tough kind of membrane that's coming, like you can see its course right from here. There's also an associated CNVM, and this was seen to be very, very, the vascularity did not correspond to the thickness, and the flow signal was also not seen. So we deduced that this is probably a less vascular ERN. And what are the other implications? We have a lot of cases of MACTEL associated with diabetic retinopathy, and this was one such case where there is an ILM drape and there is a pigment that has come up very superficially, and there seems to be an ERN there. There is MACTEL leakage along with moderate NPDR, and we saw that there was this well-defined membrane as well. Now, is this foveal neovascularization or is this ERN? Because does the presence of foveal neovascularization upstage the diabetic retinopathy stage in this patient? Does it make this PDR? So one of my friends, Dr. Jay also is here. He sent me this case of, very frank case of PDR with foveal neovascularization, but interestingly associated with MACTEL. So we wonder if it is an ERN or it is foveal neovascularization. Very interestingly, post one anti-VEGF, it resolved in, it came down in size. So this is another case, one of my friends, Dr. Sumit, was kind enough to share, and this is a patient with bilateral pigment and a bleed, subretinal and intraretinal bleed. And the OCTA showed, you can even see on the OCT that there is a small membrane corresponding to an ERN on the superficial slabs. So this is probably an ERN that bled. So the implications of this novel finding are that it does cause a projection artifact which is to be distinguished from the dragged vascular complex typical of MACTEL. And is it possible that it's an end-stage neovascularization just like CNVM? And since we have an example of hemorrhage, anti-VEGF probably needs to be considered. If it is associated with a moderate or severe NPDR, does it make it PDR, the presence of this membrane? And it is definitely easy to monitor response to these treatments with, because of the OCTA. So we recommend that all epimacular membranes be multimodally imaged, and it may represent a proliferative MACTEL as well.